Welcome to Drive It, the car show on DW. Coming up, a racy Mercedes convertible, the AMG GT C Roadster. Racing ahead with science, Formula student at the Hockenheim racetrack. And the new Ford Fiesta. Ford has launched the 8th installment of the Fiesta. It looks a bit like its predecessor. But this latest Fiesta generation comes with almost entirely revamped components. A redesigned body, chassis, platform and engines. The Fiesta certainly comes from a good family. Our car tester, Emanuel Schäfer, says Ford's Fiesta has been exciting people for over 4 decades. More than 17 million units have been built so far. That makes the Fiesta for Ford what the Golf is to Volkswagen, namely a big seller. We're taking the new 103 kilowatt gas engine Fiesta for a spin. Ford claims it uses just 4.5 litres per 100 kilometres on average. Emanuel says the Fiesta will be available in 7 different versions. He'll be testing the most luxurious of them, the Vignale. It has large, lightweight alloy wheels and matte chrome elements on parts of its body. Like around the frontal fog lamps and on the radiator grille. Emanuel says Ford's very first 1976 Fiesta also came with a 1-litre engine, though it had 4 cylinders and an output of 40 horsepower. The latest Fiesta, meanwhile, only has 3 cylinders, but delivers 140 horsepower, or 103 kilowatts if you like. The latest Fiesta can also be had with a 1.1-litre gas engine, less powerful versions of the 1-litre EcoBoost engine or a 1.5-litre diesel engine. There are chrome elements on the sides, lending the car a refined look. The side window gets narrower towards the rear, giving it a more dynamic appearance. The rear and backlights exhibit similarities to the Ford B-Max. The trunk can hold 292 litres of luggage. Flip over the back seats and you get a total storage capacity of 1,093 litres. High-end materials and stellar craftsmanship give the Fiesta a cosy interior. Matte elements decorate the interior, creating a holistic aesthetic. Boasts a no-thrills instrument cluster. The seats are leather and cost an extra €900. They can be individually heated and to different temperatures. This new Ford Fiesta is the most technologically advanced compact car currently available in Europe. 15 different assistance systems are there to help drivers, including active park assist and a system that alerts you if you're backing into oncoming cross traffic. Emanuel says this 8th generation Fiesta has barely grown in size but has grown more refined. All incarnations of the Fiesta, including the Vignale, have become more classy. He says with so many options on offer, everyone will find a Fiesta to their liking. Those eager to buy a new Fiesta in Germany will need to shell out at least €13,000, but add some extra features and a bigger engine and you're looking at over €28,000. Whichever equipment package you opt for, this latest Ford Fiesta leaves little to be desired. It flashes by, catching everyone's attention. One of the 2 latest additions to MercedesAMG GT series. The new MercedesAMG GT C Roadster. This open top makes for breezy, high-octane driving. got an output of 410 kilowatts and makes the sprint to 100 in just 3.7 seconds. This roaring V8 beast is the king of the road. Mercedes says it uses 11.4 litres per 100 kilometres, though that's utopian if you really put your foot down on the gas. Our car tester, Reinhold Deisenhofer, says that usually after thunder comes sunshine. Though with the thunderous roar of this Mercedes-AMG GT C Roadster with its mighty 4-litre 8-cylinder engine, your neighbours probably won't be too pleased. But the driver will, as he heads off onto the road grinning. Its 410 kilowatts of power and stylishly athletic body are a real statement by the Swabian Mercedes-AMG manufacturer. The front is dominated by the expressive Panamericana radiator grille with its 15 vertical chrome fins. Underneath the hood, there's a fully redesigned V8 biturbo engine. The 3-layered soft top is available in black, red or beige. Redesigned sides lend this Mercedes-AMG GT C Roadster an extra 6 centimetres of width. Depending on drive mode and speed, its rear spoiler will flip up or down. Large air vents improve rear airflow. The red soft top with its lightweight magnesium, steel and aluminium construction contributes to the vehicle's low centre of gravity. Reinhold says the top takes about 11 seconds to open or close at a speed of up to 50 kilometers an hour. All buttons have been perfectly arranged around the driver. Its interior, too, boasts an athletic/stylish design. Its wide instrument cluster gives the vehicle an especially broad feel. The AMG logo adorns all parts of the interior. All buttons are arranged for the driver's convenience. AMG performance seats for extra support are optional, as is neck-level heating if you fancy going for a spin in chilly autumn weather. Reinhold says that up to 200 kilometers an hour, headwind is bearable with the top down. If you're going to do more than that, holding a conversation becomes impossible. Speaking of high speeds, in terms of power, the Mercedes-AMG GT C Roadster comes between the GTS and the muscular GTR. The GT C Roadster has a top speed of 316 kilometers an hour, almost as fast as the GTR, with which it has many technical and visual similarities. In Germany, the Mercedes-AMG GT C Roadster comes with a hefty price tag of €160,000. Reinhold says the GT C Roadster is a challenge to carmaker Porsche. It costs €30,000 less than a 911 Turbo Cabriolet, is just as fast, more exclusive, and a beauty to behold. But with no rear seats, it has room for only the driver and one passenger. But unlike the Porsche, it does have a mighty V8 engine. The new Mercedes EClass is a premium pickup. It does the work of a truck with the elegance and drive of a true Merc. You can choose between 1 gasoline and 2 diesel engines, delivering between 120 and 140 kilowatts. An EClass costs about €38,000 in Germany. Ford and German logistics group Deutsche Post DHL have unveiled a new electric delivery truck, the Street Scooter Work XL, based on the Ford Transit. The plan is to build about 150 of them at a plant in Aachen this year, and 2,500 by the end of next year. The fastest lap, the most efficient powertrain, the best overall design. That is what Formula Student is all about. But this is not a normal race. It is more a contest of ideas offered by 115 teams from universities in 24 countries. Young people have the opportunity to design their own racing cars. We can meet and talk with other teams in the evening, at the campground and in the pit. We can wander around and look at everything, and the atmosphere is really friendly. This may be a competition, but the teams are happy to help each other. No professor on earth could teach us everything we're learning here. Car makers, including Volkswagen, support the event at the Hockenheim Ring racetrack. This is where we find the engineers of tomorrow. We have to be involved and be visible as an interested partner and as a potential future employer. 65 cars have internal combustion engines, 50 electric motors. The teams had 1 year to build their racing cars and galvanize their fans to cheer on their pilots. There are parallels to the real auto industry. This is not a completely new development. After our failure last year, we met with some alumni and experts and looked at what went well and what didn't. And on the basis of that, we modified our car. 15 teams came without a driver, not because they couldn't find one, they didn't need one. They developed self-driving racing cars for the driverless discipline. The driver is always the biggest problem in a car, so our aim was to replace the driver with systems that do his job. The problem is to get a system to do everything the driver does in every respect. A system that can see and react and act spontaneously. Even professional racing drivers are astounded by what the students have developed in such a short time and with limited resources. This will be the technology of tomorrow. It's so cool how many young people are interested in this and have gotten involved. In 5 or 10 years' time, this is what we'll probably be driving around in. It's just great what these youngsters have come up with. The jury looks at a range of parameters, including aerodynamics, acceleration, handling, design, technology, and costing. Performance is important, but so is reliability. The jurors already have an idea about the weak points. Teams often have the same kinds of problems, so the jurors like to focus on the sore points. Still, they are very fair. I think they evaluate all the teams the same way. Every team would like to win, but that's really not the main issue for most of them at this special meet. You just learn so much here. It's amazing. Also, in terms of social skills, that's something I've realized as team leader. Learning how to get on with people, work with them, and coordinate their activities. That is incredibly valuable. You can't learn that at university. The interaction is really impressive. We all talk to each other. All the teams come up with different ideas, and you can learn a lot from them. No design so far has been perfect. Who knows, perhaps 2 teams with 2 approaches working together could make something really good. That would mean progress not just for Formula Student, but also for the auto industry and for the future of transportation. No matter that, not everything works perfectly right now. This is the new 3rd generation Kia Picanto. It's a zippy town car, all you need for driving in the city. So far, 60% of purchasers have been women. The new design suggests Kia wants to change that. Our test driver, Ronnie, says he's going to take it for a spin and see if it appeals to him too. The new Picanto is sportier, has more room for luggage and is more fun to drive. The third generation is really much snazzier and sportier. Its new hood gives it the youthful, energetic look of a powerful cat. It's small but classy. The Picanto is 3.6 meters long and its engines are on the petite side too. There is a 1-litre 3-cylinder version and a 1.2-litre 4-cylinder version. Both have multi-point injection. Ronnie would definitely recommend the 1.2-litre engine. It's smooth and gives you lively performance up to a speed of 80 kilometers an hour, which is plenty for city driving. That larger version yields 62 kilowatts, so the Picanto is not exactly a powerhouse, but still, out on the highway, it won't hold up the traffic. You can get it up to 173 kilometers an hour, but it will take a while, according to Kia. It takes 12 seconds to go from 0 to 100. If you want a bit more drama, wait for the 3-cylinder turbo with 74 kilowatts to be introduced later this year. The design was crafted in a joint effort by teams in Namyang, Korea and Frankfurt, Germany. The wide grille, the tiger nose, is now the trademark Kia look. The headlamps are angular. LED indicator lights are an option. The wheelbase is now a bit longer at 2.4 meters, so the Picanto grips the road nicely and the cabin is more spacious. The trunk is too. It's grown from 200 litres to 255. Under the floorboard, there is extra storage space. The cabin is definitely more sophisticated and stylish than that of many competitor cars. Everything is where it should be. The workmanship is good. You might think that is a given, but it isn't in this class. Optional extras include front seat and steering wheel heating. The seats can be adjusted to suit just about any driver. The headrests are nice and tall. If you tend to drive short distances, appreciate comfort and want a nimble car to negotiate congested city streets, then the Kia Picanto is for you. It's a modern car. The engine, suspension and transmission work well together, and it feels good to drive. Today, we're driving an ambitious luxury sedan, the Audi V8. Its most important components? 4-wheel drive, 8 cylinders and 0 headaches, thanks to its automatic transmission. In 1988, Audi's CEO Ferdinand Piëch ventured into the luxury league with the V8. Back then, luxury was strictly the domain of the MercedesBenz EClass and the BMW 7 Series. As our test driver Christoph recalls, when Ferdinand Piëch was about to present his newest baby back then, he said the Audi V8 was sure to stir up the entire luxury class. So expectations were high and the press couldn't stop speculating about its name. Perhaps Audi 300 or Horsch, a reference to the premium brand's founder, August Horsch. Not a chance. That Audi's new luxury model was simply referred to by its initials V8 was bad enough. Much worse was that this new top-of-the-line model was the spitting image of Audi's mid-range cars 100 and 200, which both looked outdated and unexciting. But despite similarities in design, V8 technology is far superior to its middle-class cousins. Christoph can only agree that the car feels incredibly athletic and dynamic. Its cornering is excellent, he says, and you'd have to work hard to drive it off track. Despite its many technical innovations, it can withstand a whole slew of endurance tests without even the slightest misfire. Which is great, considering that even back then, individual replacement parts were astronomically high. A new motor, for example, cost 20,000 marks. That's as much as a brand new Golf. When it comes to performance, the V8 engine's 3.6-litre capacity and 250 horsepower weren't initially convincing. It wasn't until 1991 that its 280 horsepower, 4.2-litre motor brought the car's performance back on par with expectations. On automatic, the V8 powers from 0 to 100 in under 8 seconds and reaches a top speed of 249. More hands-on people can reach 100 in less than 7 seconds, in any weather and on any surface. For the cleverly designed four-wheel drive distributes power to the wheels with the most traction. Ideally, that means the power is distributed evenly between the front and the back axle, but in extreme cases it can send 100% to just one axle. To demonstrate the four-wheel drive superiority, they sent the V8 straight to the racetrack.
Des Quattro-Antriebs mitbekommt, schickt man den V8 kurzerhand auf die Rennstrecke.
In 1990, Hans-Joachim Stuck won the German Touring Car Championship. In 1991, his team colleague Frank Bieler triumphed. The drivers dubbed their V8 Quattro DTM with 420 PS the chauffeur's limousine, and even competitors were joking about the taxi. In the end, the Audi pilots had the last laugh. When the Audi V8 came into the market in 1988, there was only one equipment variant, and it had a catch. With automatic transmission, air conditioning, and leather and walnut interior, it was almost 30% more expensive than the competitors' BMW and Mercedes basic models. But it has four-wheel drive, so you can even drive it through a sandpit like this. The competition couldn't manage that. But who pays 100,000 marks for a car that looks like an overweight Audi 100? Being understated is not a winning argument when it comes to the luxury series. The similarity is no coincidence either. The fully galvanized V8 inherited its floor assembly and central section from the 100 model. Yet its bulky rear, newly designed front and flared fenders weren't enough to distinguish it from middle-class models. What were, though, were technical treats like the 4-position memory seat function and its safety system Procon 10. In a head-on collision, it tightens the seat belts and pulls the steering column away from the driver, making the Audi V8 one of the safest cars of its class. Our test driver points out another highlight that's hidden directly in the name V8. The fully redesigned 8-cylinder engine, complete with 32 valves and 4 overhead camshafts. Made entirely of aluminium, it's particularly durable and can easily last 400,000 kilometers with the proper care. However, there were only a few mechanics who really understood this complex technology, so Audi found its specialized V8 support bases. There and only there is the brand's flagship truly in good hands. Christoph was impressed by the driving dynamics and says the best place to sit in a V8 is behind the wheel. This is a fun car, not one to be chauffeured in, and only 1% of the buyers chose the more expensive long version. But that wasn't the only reason sales figures lagged behind expectations. Audi struggled to find new customers, presenting a cheaper basic model and launching a huge marketing campaign with packages, guaranteed mobility, the works. Meanwhile, the competitors were joking Audi would soon start shining customers' shoes just to get them into their car.
Die Konkurrenz, die macht sich lustig und sagt, ja, demnächst werden den Kunden noch die Schuhe geputzt, damit sie in dieses Auto einsteigen.
In the 6 years it was manufactured, only 21,000 well-to-do customers chose the Audi V8. Initial planning had calculated 14,000 models a year. The alternative in the luxury class found only exceptional buyers. Christoph agrees the V8 certainly wasn't a financial success, but it did set the trend for four-wheel drive in upper-class models, and the driving dynamics and safety were enough to convince even the stoutest skeptic. As the first upper-class Audi and the first luxury sedan with four-wheel drive, the Audi V8 was definitely a milestone in car history. The succeeding A8 finally managed the anticipated breakthrough. It firmly positioned Audi in the luxury car class and even became a state car. Next time on Drive It, Porsche's new Panamera Sports Turismo 4e Hybrid liftback. And we meet the team at SEAT that dreams up new models.